It's crazy how fast my sports card collection grew since doing this. And I have a lot of reasons to show you. And there's one secret that I'm going to show you later on in the video. So make sure you stay tuned. And it's a way that I find a lot of good sports cards. But before we get into that, the first thing I wrote down was you need to narrow your focus. Narrow your focus because when I built my sports card collection and it grew so much, I narrowed my focus into concentrating on singles. I concentrated really on buying singles. I buy some blaster boxes, yes, just for our Pack a Day challenge on Instagram and TikTok, but singles is the way to go. Singles is, you can buy what you want. You can, okay, I know I want to get a Shohei Ohtani card. I want to get a Ellie De La Cruz or a Paul Skeens card, right? If I want to get an auto, yeah, okay, there's an auto, $1,000, probably not, right? But maybe if I want to get just a parallel Paul Skeens, or maybe I have a friend who used to play in the major leagues, and or a pitching coach that maybe your son or daughter goes to and they used to play in the major leagues or whatever, right? I can find their card online and get an auto of it for $5 or $10, or $1 or whatever. So I mean, singles is really the way to go to build your sports card collection. That's the first thing that I did and didn't really know when I first started. I went buy blaster boxes, buy these there kind of boxes, mega boxes, and now I'm really into buying singles because it's so much easier to find what you want, and you can sometimes get them for a pretty good price if you're going through auction and going through auction at nighttime, which is a very good thing to do. Middle of the night going to auction, the auction's ending. Not many people are bidding on stuff, so it's a really good thing to do. You can concentrate on specific players, teams, or even sets, or even brands, Topps, Bowman, Mosaics, Panini, whatever. And you won't get distracted from, like things that you don't really need and what you want to focus on. And that can maximize your investment, your card value, your collection value. And that's all everyone wants to do is have a great collection to show your friends and to show off. That should be the main thing for sports cards. It's kind of hit or miss now, but it was when I was a kid. We would bring our cards to school and be like, man, I got this Eric Lindros card. Look at this. Where'd you get that from? I don't know. I got, and things like that help you. And it's a good community aspect as well. Leveraging trades is another thing that I want to talk about because, trading with the community is so important. And this is trading without any money. You might be able to go to card shows and in-person card shows or trade shows and local card shops, your friends, and trade cards. I mean, my kids and my students have Pokemon cards. They're always trading all the time. I have no idea. I'm ready to get into Pokemon cards, right? I know Pikachu and all those, but I don't know really a lot of Pokemon cards, which ones are the best ones, right? And they're trading all the time, this one, that one, right? And that makes the hobby what it should be. You know what I'm saying? It makes you talk about this thing, or I have an LDL Cruz. He had 3 home runs last night, right? Do you want this one for Polsky? So you can trade these things and give it some value. When we went to Cooperstown, we traded pins all the time, and some pins were rarer than other pins, and they had value. Some pins, you can put them on eBay and sell for $50. Some pins you couldn't even sell for anything. Different values go through the roof when you have a lot of rarity and things like that. And the same things with cards. You might be able to get, I really like that pink Ellie De La Cruz, and you have a green one, and maybe I can trade you for that. So like things like that, the parallels, the inserts, you can trade, in person, which is, and then it prolongs the community. That's the whole entire thing while we're doing it, is going to card shows and going to card shops and like, I have these. Okay, you give me $300 for my cards, and I can buy a hobby box or whatever. That's trading, but you're not spending much any money, right? Online as well. There's the platform now. I mean, I'm talking to you online, obviously. You have Facebook groups. You have Discord. Like we talk in Discord when playing Call of Duty. And Discord is talking back and forth, but they also have like chats and things like that in there. We're in stock Discords. We're in card Discords. And a lot of stuff, you can trade back and forth with people in there. And Reddit's just a great way. Social media, Facebook, whatever. Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of places where you can trade and you can, I have these cards and I can trade for way more cards. Maybe there's a gem in that card section. So like you can find stuff without having to, have to spend any money, which is a great thing. Attend local card shows. I mean, why not? Johnny made a video way back when about attending local card shows a couple months ago, about attending local card shows. You're networking, right? You're networking. You're rare finds. My son was at a party, a Top Golf party, and they had like a card show, a card shop there last night. And it was pretty cool because he was going there and with all his friends, and he's like, yo, we like he's kind of into sports card hustlers. He does some videos on TikTok and Instagram, like card pack openings and things like that. He's not going to sit here and talk to you for 15 minutes about what's happening with the hobby, but he does some stuff. And he was talking to the local card shop people that they brought a desk with all the cards on it, and he was talking about, like we do a sports card show or a sports card channel and blah 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 and all that stuff. And the guy's like, "Oh, I saw that, or I saw that one time. I think I'm subscribed to your channel." That's pretty cool to see. The I don't think I'm a very popular person at all, and never will be. But I think it's a pretty cool thing that people like, find you and remember you, and I guess appreciate what you're doing, and that's a really cool thing to do. And we try to do a lot of work here at Sports Card Hustlers, and there's a lot of behind the scenes work with Johnny and Scotty, even though you don't see them, but there is behind the scenes work that they're doing to help make these videos, engaging for you guys and great for you guys. I know I'm sitting in the car here, all these videos, but I mean, that's the quiet place. Inside is the loud place. We're playing music, we're dancing, we're playing video games, we're yelling. So inside the car is a kind of quiet place. So I can, you can have my full undivided attention because I get distracted a lot, so, but attending local card shows is pretty cool. You can find rare finds there. You can trade for rare finds. You can network. You can get, other card shows and go to their places. Oh yeah, I went here and I got 20% discount, and so on and so forth right there. It's a great place to have what I did to grow my collection is going to these different places, and you can buy singles there. And I came back one time from a card show. I had like bags and bags of singles, and it was like $100 I spent, and I got all the ones that I wanted. I don't have like, bogus guys that I don't want. I have the guys that I want, and they're in my bag, and I put them in my collection, which is a pretty cool thing. So it's really neat. Researching market trends is very important to research market trends and research. You can see this isn't like from this video, but you can see like all my notes on here. I research. I try to research a lot, so I'm gonna like a ding dong on here. But also, I want to have you guys have the most up to date research, just like I researched how many moons the planet might have, or like, or whatever for my class. When I first started teaching, Jupiter had 63 moons. Now it has 95, and Saturn had or I think Jupiter has 67, and Saturn had 63, and now Saturn has 146. So I mean, it changes all the time, just like the card market changes all the time. And I try to stay up to date for you guys so you can understand that. And how I stay up to date and prolong my collection is market trends and researching those trends. I always purchase during dips in performance or in the off season. I never really purchase during the season. So like MLB, you're in October and you got Aaron Judge hitting home runs, you got Bryce Harper hitting home runs. I never really purchase their cards during that time when they're really, really high because they're way out of range of price. I try to purchase cards when they're on on their slumps and things like that. People on the slumps, they're trying to get rid of their cards, and might be able to find some good deals there. So researching market trends, it really helps you and make sure that off season might be the best time to buy these things. And I made a video a couple days ago about why was winter the best time to buy stuff. So make sure you check that video out as well. But diversifying acquisition methods, what that means and why I wrote that down. That just means mix where you're buying from. Don't just buy all on eBay. Don't just buy all at your local card shop, because your local card shop may be overpriced compared to another local card shop down the street. So make sure you go, do eBay, do social media, do groups, Discord groups, bulk lots. And here's my secret. Don't tell anybody. Here's my secret where I buy a lot of stuff is Goodwill Finds. Goodwill Finds, sometimes they have good stuff, sometimes they don't have good stuff. Maybe you have some good things that you found on there. Maybe you never heard of it before. Maybe you have been searching for months and never found anything. That's the way it goes on there because it's all like just, it's so much turnover. But you might be able to find some good large card packs for like very, very cheap in price. So Goodwill Finds, make sure you write that down, right? And search it. And if you ever found anything on these places or found other like secret places and you want to share it to everybody in the entire world, or to maybe hopefully the 10,000 people that are watching this video or 20,000 people that are watching this video, let us know in the comments and, let us know where you find the best deals. That's that's a great thing for you guys to show us and help us out because, I'm one person, you guys are thousands. So hopefully you guys can help everybody out at the same time because we're trying to help the entire hobby and where to find great things at a pretty reasonable price. So definitely acquisition methods, very important. Increasing the quality of collection. So how do you do that? How do you increase the quality of your collecting? Well, grading is how you do that. Now, I'm like 50-50 on grading. I did a Shohei Ohtani a couple year past, and it took like so long to get there, and it gave me an 8 grade where I pulled it out of the pack and put it into the thing and sent it away. And it gave me an 8 grade, and there's no corners bent up. I mean, it might have been off-centered a little bit, but I mean, it should at least got a 9. So I would love to take it away and then put and then go back and do it again and see what it got graded again. But obviously, it has like a mark on it, not a mark on it, but it has like a it's already in actual PSA that I send away to. But sometimes grading can be good, sometimes grading can be bad. But overall grading, if you buy graded cards, they are worth more, obviously, because you might spend $20 to grade that card, and the card might be worth $1. So you might get it for 15. So I mean, it all depends on these local card shops, how many of them grade and things like that. But centering, condition, all that stuff depends on the grade. And maybe you have a card, and this is a great card, and it's really centered, it's really perfect, it's not really warped. So maybe you send that away. Sometimes you might have a card that's like really not centered at all. It's really warped. There's a bent corner. It may not be worth it to send away. So you have to make sure you look at your cards. You might have some old cards like that. They may not be worth it to send if these old cards aren't in great condition to grading. But that's how I, grew my collection, is by like buying some graded cards and things like that and put in my collection when I go to card shops, and also send some cards away as well. But you have to watch on what you might think. So you can almost like grade it yourself almost. There's YouTube videos and stuff like that might help you out. But increasing the quality is very important. The last thing I wrote down is be consistent and patient, as my wife and son are leaving. Okay? Say bye. They're going to work. They're going to work. Okay? But be consistent and patient. So don't overextend. Don't overextend like I do, right? I overextend. Like I'm like, oh man, there's a box here, and I finally saw boxes. And stuff like that, right? And no, then don't overextend like I do, because I do it all the time and I get yelled at all the time, right? So don't overextend. Be consistent. Be patient. Make sure you're not impulsively buying stuff, right? Budget. Make sure that you budget. Make sure you set a budget, maybe weekly. If you want to buy cars a lot, do a weekly budget. Maybe buy a blaster box a week, or if you miss a week, maybe you can do that, whatever. It's just like setting a schedule for anything you do in your life. If you're working out or you're running or you have like stuff to do over that week, we have dance this week, all this week, and it's like every night we have dance class, right? And we're setting a schedule for that, right? So do the same thing for sports cards, right? Set a schedule for it. Like, how can I buy it? What can I do? How much can I spend? All that crazy stuff, right? I can do it by weekly, I can do it by monthly, but do it by yearly, I can do all three. That might help me out to not overextend ourselves, because I don't want you going out there and overextending yourself and spending thousands of dollars and then being in debt. So that's not the way that this hobby should be. You should be going out there, enjoying the hobby, collecting it, opening up box with your kids or other kids or whatever, and helping you out. So that's very important. Don't impulsive buy like I do. I get very caught up into seeing cards at Walmart, at Target, at my local hobby shop, and I look at them and I'm like, man, I'm gonna buy them all. It's like crazy. So don't be like me. Try to go in there at like a level head. I always tell my kids or my players when I'm coaching, right? Don't get too high, don't get too low. Try to stay in the middle, right? The best players are going to stay in the middle. They don't want to get too crazy. They don't get too down on themselves. They kind of stay in the middle because they know they're going to be successful. They know they're going to fall. They're going to fail. The same thing's happening with sports cards. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Don't go in there and go crazy and be like, I got to buy everything. Or don't get too low and be like, I'm not buying nothing, right? Because, that might be a better way to do it. But make sure you kind of stay even and go through, your entire, craziness of how you can buy the stuff And that's what I kind of did, is when I go in there, I try to stay consistent, and I can grow my card base better that way than buying all at the same time, because then I'm out of money. Then I can't get any new things that I did, right? So how I grew mine is like, I would buy a blaster of Big League Baseball, maybe another blaster next week of Big League Baseball. I have 2 blasters. I can get a little collection of that. Then I go to Topps Update Series 2, and then boom, do that. And then I do the Topps Chrome, and then do that. And I can kind of just go along and set that budget and not just get all crazy, right? When I first got back into this after being a kid and getting back into it, I'll go to the store and buy like 10 blaster boxes. Yeah, baby, I got them all, and open them all up. And then it's like 25 years to sort them. And it's like, oh, it's crazy, right? And you might not have time to do that. So, don't be like me and go crazy. Try to stay not too high, not too low, in the middle. Cool? So, hopefully you learn from this video. So, again, my secret, Goodwill Finds. Make sure you go to Goodwill Finds. If you ever find anything good, let us know in the comments, because I've found some good things in there, some good packs of cards, not packs, but like, sets of cards that people have found. And I found Griffey's in there. I found Bo Jackson's. I found Harper's in there. So it's, I found a lot of things. I know Scotty has used that as well, and he's found a lot of good basketball cards because he's really into basketball. So he's found a lot of some Jordans in there from like the 80s. So look at it and see. But again, Insider, if you want to be part of that weekly email that's going to show you when things are getting restocked, or even when things are, what release dates are coming out, comment Insider in the comments, and we'll send you guys a link and you can sign up through email. So pretty cool. Okay. But again, any other questions ever, let us know in the comments. If you have some stuff you want to add on to this video, because I'm sure I didn't hit everything in the entire world, shoot us a message in the comments. We'd love hearing you guys and love commenting back to you guys. And even though if we don't agree with you, doesn't matter. We're all in this together, and we're all trying to make this better in the end. So we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll talk to you guys later. Later.